Do not make this mistake when choosing a realtor. Today I'm going to go over 5 things you need to consider when you're choosing a realtor, and make sure you stick around to the end because the 5th one might seem simple, but it's something people often don't do. My name is Ben Robitaille. I'm a realtor with Royal LePage and I serve Simcoe County in southern Muskoka in Ontario. If you like this video, consider hitting the subscribe button. I put out new videos like this every single week to help buyers and sellers just like you. Really quickly, before we get into the 5 things you need to know before choosing a realtor, it's important to know how realtors actually work. So in Ontario, realtors are mostly independent contractors. They may align themselves with brokerages like Royal LePage in my case, Keller Williams, Remax, EXP. There's a whole wide range of brokerages, and all of these brokerages have commission splits. So in my case, when I go out and sell a home, there's a certain amount we charge for commission, and of that commission that comes in, the brokerage gets a portion and I get a portion. So that applies to individuals. If a realtor works for a team, there's an extra layer. The whole commission comes into the brokerage will take a split, the team takes their split, and then that split with the team is then divided between the team leader and the person who actually sold the property. Now that we know that, let's dive into what mistakes you need to avoid when choosing a realtor. The first mistake you need to avoid is choosing someone who is dishonest or too salesy. I firmly believe, and this is just my personal opinion, that a realtor really shouldn't have to sell you a house. A realtor should understand what your needs and wants are and match you into a house according to that. Realtors go through a large number of houses, and while there is a wide range of understanding of home systems and mechanical systems, if a realtor notices something that doesn't look right and isn't telling you about it, that's a big red flag. Even if it is their own listing. I've seen this with first-time home buyers before plenty of times. You want somebody who can understand where you're at, what you need, and knows how to get you there. The second mistake people make is picking somebody who they don't actually want to spend some time with. If you're a buyer or a seller, odds are you're going to be spending a fair amount of time with your realtor, whether it's touring houses, talking about a marketing plan. I've worked with buyers for 6 months before we found the right house for them. And if every time you're going to a showing or a listing appointment, you're dreading having to talk to this person for 30 minutes to an hour, that's a problem. Now, I would say this isn't a huge issue because most realtors are pretty good persons. A lot of agents get into this business because it is a relationship-based business, but that being said, not every personality matches every type of client, and that's okay. You want to find a realtor who matches with you, who understands you, and will deliver the kind of service that you want to have. The third mistake I see people make when they're choosing a realtor is not choosing somebody who is professional. Now, yes, being a realtor is a profession, it's a career choice, but being professional is just that extra step that good realtors take in order to make sure they're running a good business. This means being on time for appointments, communicating exactly what is happening in a timely manner, being available to answer your questions in a timely manner. These are all important things to consider because when the right place comes along, you don't want to be left waiting on your realtor. At the end of the day, you'll be much happier and much more comfortable knowing that if you send your realtor a text or have a question, that you know for a fact from experience that they will get back to you within a reasonable amount of time. And speaking of time, that brings me to our 4th thing you want to avoid when choosing a realtor is choosing somebody who doesn't take the time to explain to you the processes that are going on. Now, there are clients who have bought many houses over time, who have been through the process before and don't need to go in depth with what a buyer rep agreement is, what a listing agreement is. But there are a lot of people out there who make very few transactions over their lifetime and things change. So you want a realtor who is going to take the time to explain what each document means and what the process looks like start to finish. Are you listing your home? What are the steps you're going to take before it actually hits the market? what's going to happen when it's on the market and you've got showings, and what's going to happen after we have a conditional offer and then a firm offer. Same thing if you're a buyer. What does a pre-approval look like? Do you need help getting it? Are you ready to go out and start seeing homes? Do you know what a buyer rep agreement is? These are all things that your realtor should be taking you through and making sure you understand. And if they're not taking the time to do that, then you might want to consider finding somebody who will. The fifth mistake I see people make when they're choosing a realtor, and this to me is an important one, but it feels kind of obvious, is not actually meeting with the realtor. I know most realtors are always happy to meet for coffee, lunch even, and talk about real estate, talk about the market, talk about what they can offer you, and also learn about what you need, what you want, and how they can provide great service to you. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Your realtor should make it feel easy for you to ask any question at all. Doesn't matter if you think it's silly or embarrassing or if you should know that, because the truth is we're here to help guide you through the whole process and fill in that gap between what you know, what you think you might know, and what you have yet to learn. And personally, I'm a fan of the in-person first impression. Phone calls, text messages, emails are very interpretation dependent. You can read a sentence 30 different ways. When you meet somebody in person, you get a genuine sense of who they are and what they bring to the table. And I don't think any other form of communication can really replace that. At this point, who knows what technology has in store? So those are 5 mistakes to avoid when choosing a realtor. If there's something else you normally consider, comment it down below. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Once again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I put out new videos every week, so subscribe and stay tuned with what's happening out there in real estate. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.